Hi Libra, thanks for tuning in. Please join me while I shuffle. Set aside any distractions. Grab some headphones if you have some nearby. No multitasking while we do the reading. I want to make sure you get the most out of your time here with me. Please check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to tune into my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop. That way the messages that come through will be tailored for you. And if you take a moment here to actually do that little action there, you'll find that this is very much a personal reading for you. So let's take a look at the energies available at this time for Libra. Three aces across the central axis of your reading, Libra. Two fives in your reading. So, my first impressions here as the cards are going down is that what do I want to say here? Well, I'm hearing elimination. So I feel like for some of you, there could be a process here where, you know, in moving closer towards your goals and aspirations, if you still are lacking some clarity about actually how to put your energy into things, you might be finding some support from the universe in an unusual way, in that you're finding yourself closer to understanding by a process of elimination. So that which is not meant for you is perhaps moving out of your field. But that may have like how do I describe that? The feeling is not super comfortable, right? Like when you have that kind of it's almost a dissonant energy with environments, with people, with events and situations. There could be, if there's some of that energy here where you're kind of figuring out what's not for you by like sensing and feeling frequencies that you can recognize are not a vibrational match, then you could find yourself in situations where, you know, you might actually get a physical ailment or have some kind of energetic dissonance within you that makes you feel uncomfortable, something along those lines. But while that may be a little bit uncomfortable, it is in of itself very clarifying and clear and understanding, like the ability for you to understand that that's not for you is very evident. So just use this time here to listen and pay attention to what is coming across your desk, or who, you know, the people you're coming in contact with, and just take note of what feels right and what doesn't feel right, and start to become a little bit more attuned to energetic information that's being shared with you via, you know, the way your guides and your entourage of helpers may be orchestrating situations for you. Just become a little bit more lucid of things as they're kind of unfolding in a way to help you understand what is for you and what isn't for you. Yeah, you have the Death card in reverse at the foundation of the reading. I would say that this is making me feel like that you may be resisting somewhat. You have the Judgment also in reverse here. Both of these cards are very strong, energetic signatures of transition, of transformation, of change, of elimination, of initiation. Like there's energy here that could be, you feel like you're being tested and under trial, right? But seeing both of them here in reverse makes me feel like you could be a little bit resistant to actually letting go of things that are no longer for you. You know, you might be holding on a little bit, and that could be also what these two aces in reverse are here. You have three aces across the center of the reading. Ace of Wands and Ace of Swords are in reverse, and Ace of Cups is upright in the outcome position, which I'm happy to see. That's kind of giving me some hope there. But what I feel that these two aces here is suggesting is that you're resisting. It's part of this theme, ongoing theme through the reading of you may be resisting change, you may be resisting transitions or transformations or eliminations, or you know, that general feeling of resistance is what I'm feeling here with quite a few of the cards in this reading. You also have the Seven of Wands here, which also does describe pretty clearly a sort of defensive energy. So this could also be you resisting your own happiness and your own contentedness, because you may not be listening carefully to the signs and symbols and the language of your, you know, your landscape that's being, as I said, orchestrated by your guides and your higher self. So I feel to say here, and with the moon as the crossing card, I feel to say here that there is guidance here towards paying more attention to your intuition and listening more carefully and not misinterpreting information. I think there's a tendency to do that. I feel that there's some lack of clarity or a cloudedness that may be preventing you from actually really understanding exactly what messages are being conveyed to you, if this is making sense. What else is here? Yeah, I kind of feel like I covered everything. Like this Seven of Cups in reverse is like this lack of clarity, the cloudedness. The two fives here are kind of talking about some dissonance or some potentially physical unwellness or physical ailments that may be showing up as a result of you being in environments that are actually not in harmony with your energy, and you needing to pay more attention to that and pay more attention to the consequences of involving yourself in certain situations or projects or environments or events that you actually shouldn't be involved in. Shouldn't's a strong word, but it's more about like you needing to listen more closely to what you know to be true and what you feel, and not disregarding those impulses and overriding them with a rationality that says, oh no, it's okay, it's fine for me to be here, I should be here, I need to be here, or whatever. You need to pay more attention to the symbols and the signs and the information that's being relayed to you in a really real and honest way, and not being delusional or making things mean something that they actually don't mean because it suits the story that you want to tell yourself, that will maybe give you a sort of sense of you being right about what you thought or felt about something or someone. I hope that's making sense. So eliminating some of the resistance towards change and transformation. Maybe that some of what that is there could be some attachment to things that you may have started previously with people perhaps that you thought were in alignment with you. And maybe some of this resistance here to letting go is because you have some agenda or you've some vested interest in some previously initiated things, projects, people, relationships, etc. But what I'm feeling here is that there's certain types of transitions that you need to make that you're resisting because you have some attachments to things that you may have already begun, or that you may have got excited about or invested in because certain people maybe have kind of brought you into circumstances or situations that felt good to be invited into, but you may be misreading that person's energy somehow. I hope this is making sense. Just something I'm picking up on here is that maybe one particular person, maybe this is a message for just one person watching this reading. You may have received an invitation to participate in something, and the thing itself might not have been that interesting to you, but the person who invited you is someone that you really look up to, or that you might be attracted to, or that you might have respect for in a certain way, or that you may have a crush on, something like that. And so because that person gave you attention and energy, you may have got involved in something that actually is, I'm hearing, detrimental. So there's some energy that you're involved with that you need to be aware of that is not for you, and you need to be clear about how and where you're putting your energy in certain environments, in certain circumstances, and with certain people that may not be right for you. And you need to just accept that. You need to accept that and make changes accordingly, and listen to your body, listen to your health, listen to your intuition, but don't misread information if it means that you can tell a bigger story to yourself that you want to play out. Okay? Move more towards greater self-love, unconditional self-love, wholeness. Happiness is yours if you really just stop playing out some idea of what success looks like and how you feel like you can feel happy if you get what you think other people want, if that makes sense. I don't know where that came from. But I just got this feeling here, like you might be pursuing certain things that are actually not really your dreams, but they seem like the right thing to go after. And it's affecting your ability to be happy. Yeah, I feel like there's a real need here to cleanse your aura. Like there's a lot of debris, I think, in your mental field that's actually not yours. I think you have you've taken on other people's ideas. That's what this is here. You've taken on too much of other people's ideas, and you need to get clarity and freedom from that so that you can actually be in pursuit of the things that are really yours to undertake. Bottom of the deck, King of Wands, Priestess reversed, Hangman, and Four of Cups. That's interesting. It's very interesting. The Hangman and the Four of Cups kind of have a similar energy. Like this is kind of what I just sort of was tuning into there, right? Like taking some time to actually pause and reflect and actually really ponder what offers you have in front of you, what opportunities are available to you, and notice if they actually really are for you or not. Like, forget about what other people are pursuing, that the dreams that other people may have initiated and are working towards, and maybe they got you excited about, but they're not your dreams, right? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Here you need to tune into your fire, your will, your determination, and your creativity with the King of Wands. The High Priestess reversed here is a little bit more of this moon energy and this energy of the Four of Cups and this Hangman reverse, where it feels to me like there is something that you are not being honest with about yourself, and you may not even realize that you're not being honest with it. I think you're a little bit caught up here with something. I feel like you're caught up in something that seemed like a good idea that you got excited about, but maybe it's just not your dream. The Moon and the High Priestess are very interesting together. Something really deep here that's hidden from you. Like maybe your own unconscious motivations here are what you cannot see. So dive deep. Use the energy of the Hangman and this Four of Cups to actually pursue the unconscious mind, to understand where your motivations may actually be coming from, and reveal the truth to yourself. Illuminate what may currently be hidden to you, and use this time to reassess and reevaluate whether or not what you're actually pursuing right now is really yours to pursue. Is it really yours to pursue? Like, what do you really want to go ahead with? I feel like I'm going to leave it there, Libra. I want to try to keep these readings a little bit more succinct and punchy so we can move forward and not take up too much of your time. I want you to get on with your day. So let's have a look at the Voyager deck here. We're gonna do another reading with the same layout. This is going to be the higher octave spread, and it will provide a little bit more insight, hopefully, into some energies that may be hidden, like forces that may be at play that are karmic or spiritual forces that we may be able to help use to understand why we're in the situation we're in, and how we can be proactive about working with those energies to come to the best outcome given the circumstances. So tune in with me again, please, while I shuffle, and send your energy over into the deck so that I can get really clear and tailored messages for you. Three of Wands in reverse at the foundation, at the bottom of the deck. Okay, Ace of Crystals in reverse, same card. My goodness. Same card, same orientation. Look at that. It's very significant. I think this is for me a confirmation that what I was just describing there is very accurate, that you may be pursuing things that are not yours, and you need to get clarity. You need to get clarity about the direction you're taking. Okay, crossed by the Sage of Worlds. The Lovers in the crowning card position, upright. 10 of Crystals in reverse. Again, more need for clarity. This is saying delusion here. You need to be clear about your unconscious motivations. Man of Worlds. Woman of Wands in reverse. Balance, which is your card. This is the Justice card from other decks. This is in reverse here, and this is in the position of you. So, yeah, let's talk about it. 6 of Cups. 10 of Worlds in reverse, the Hierophant upright. With the Child of Wands, Sage of Crystals, Woman of Cups in reverse, and Temperance in reverse. Really interesting spread here. I understand this spread. I understand it. So let's talk about it. First of all, there's 2 Queens in reverse in your reading. There's 2... where did I see that? There's the Man of Pentacles upright here, and the Hierophant. So there's some Taurus energy in your reading. And then you have Sage of Crystals and Sage of Worlds, both upright in your reading. So there's energy here around, like, how would I describe that? Again, it's this dissonance feeling. It's an energy of dissonance, and it's within you, I feel. There's like seeing you come out here in your own reading with your own archetypal energy in reverse, with Temperance in reverse. Lovers is the crowning card here. What it's telling me is that there is something within you that you need to clarify. There's some, I feel, external forces of ideas that actually are not yours, that have somehow been implanted in you and that you are working with, but actually you don't realize that they're not necessarily your ideas, they're not your aspirations, and they're not your visions. And you may be moving in this direction towards goals and dreams that may not have any relevance to you. And I feel like that's what some of this dissonance energy is here. Again, Ace of Crystals in the heart of the reading in the reverse, as you had in the same position, in the same orientation in the first reading, telling me that there is a need for clarification here. You need to get seriously one-pointed and become much more discerning in your thoughts, so that the actions that you take that follow those thoughts are actually in alignment and you are pursuing things that are relevant for you. Otherwise, I mean, if you're experiencing resistance or some kind of physical unwellness, or if there is like tension or argumentativeness in your environment with the people that you are around, then you need to seriously address like you. Ten of Crystals in reverse in the heart, in the foundation of the reading. This is the Ten of Swords from other decks. It's interesting that it's kind of a similar energy to Death, actually. Both of these cards are in reverse. I feel that, I mean, I've said it already a few times. There's some resistance here, but there's also a cloudedness or a delusion, a lack of clarity that needs to be addressed. There needs to be, I feel, an extraction or a removal of ideas and thoughts that you may be pursuing and processing that you at one point thought was a good idea, but you may be slowly coming to the awareness that it's not your dream. So, you know, I feel like mostly this is a work reading. This is for maybe a lot of people about the direction you're heading in your life as far as your path, your spiritual path, your work path, and those things are the same, actually. It's like what the work you do in this world is definitely a reflection of or an expression of your spiritual path, your spiritual development. Seeing the Lovers card here in the crowning card position of this reading is telling me that what is most important here is that you find union within yourself. You need to understand yourself here. I think you don't really understand yourself here yet, Libra. You may be in denial about certain things, or you may be rejecting certain things that you are seeing in your environment, like in terms of like signs and symbols, like I was describing in the first reading. There might be information that's coming to you that you may be rejecting or denying because the dialogue is not matching with like the inner story that you're telling yourself. But I feel like your guides are really working overtime here to help you see that you may really need to change direction. That's what, like, I mean, the Death and the Judgment card, both in reverse in the previous reading, really felt strongly to me like you're getting a lot of input and information that's helping you to see that which needs to be transformed, but you may not be open to it. You may not be listening. You're resisting it. You're being defensive. You're kind of trying to ward off things that you don't want to see and hear. That's very disconcerting to me. This is very important, like becoming really in tune with yourself. This is not necessarily about a partnership. It could be for some, like in a mundane way. This could be that you're not in alignment with your partner anymore and you may need to move on. Or the opposite, in that you need to like be more present and be tuned into yourself and harmonize with your partner. But I feel this is much more about you being in tune with yourself, being in harmony with yourself, being in union with yourself. Your personal will and a divine will needs to be harmonized and unified. Or you could be finding yourself having like difficult circumstances, a lot of dissonance. You could be experiencing a lot of drama and a lot of tension. You could be physically ill. Now, what else is here? As I mentioned, there's these two queens here in reverse. So for some that could be, this could be describing people that are in your environment that are also disharmonious. There could be some dissonance. There could be tension and friction with people where there's like an inability to resonate or understand each other or harmonize together. It could also be describing that you're not in tune enough with those, the intuitive impulses, like you had in the previous reading, the High Priestess and the Moon, both aspecting in sort of difficult ways where it's leading me to the interpretation that you're not really in tune with your intuition. You may not be listening. You may be misinterpreting signs and symbols. You may be disregarding information that's coming in or not understanding what it means, and maybe it misses you. It doesn't land. It's not landing. So that's what I feel with the two queens there. It could either be people, or it's simply describing your intuition being a little dull, a little off, a little like you're misinterpreting things. And then up here in these two upper quadrants, there's Ten of Worlds in reverse with Sage of Crystals and Hierophant with Child of Wands. What this is telling me is that what I've been saying all along, you are not necessarily right now truly in alignment correctly with your path in the way that you're expressing externally that which you are wanting to make relevant or express in a way for other people to witness as a way of expressing your spiritual quest. Now that sounds kind of out there, but what I'm feeling here is that the Sage of Crystals is saying you need to tune in a lot more to your knowing, to your truth, to your in your like most pure, refined frequency of that which is connected to all. And once you do that, you'll be able to get more in alignment with that which you need to pursue as far as a larger reaching arc of what story is being told here with you as the leading character. Like right now, what it is that you're working on may not actually be in alignment with what ought to be the legacy that you pursue. And then Hierophant here with Child of Wands. A little bit of a reiteration there, but what I feel with this is that there's an element here of you being schooled pretty hard right now. As you had the Judgment in the previous reading in the same position, you're getting schooled here. And you'll find that actually if you drop some of that resistance to actually receiving information, whatever, a lot of the difficulty that you may be experiencing, a lot of the dissonance and friction and tension and physical ailments, I just heard headaches, if you're getting headaches, if you just kind of drop a little bit into, just tune into what I'm saying here. If you're feeling irritated by what I'm saying, then this message is probably really for you. But the point I want to make here is this. If you're able to let your guard down a little bit as far as whatever's making you feel defensive, whatever you feel like you have to defend, whatever it is you feel like you have to stand up for and fight for, if you can just relax a little bit and just like drop your guard a bit and tune into your own frequency, actually just like sit in your own energy and like forget about what things other people told you about what's good to do or what you're pursuing or whatever you're excited about now that you think is what you're working towards. I feel that you may need to just reassess here. That's what I feel. I feel you may need to reassess where you're putting your energy and how. And the point is why, actually. Why are you putting your energy into that? Is it really for you? Is that really for you? Is that really your dream? And for some of you, it's about like, you may be putting off what you really want to do because you feel like the pursuit of financial stability is more important, but you're looking at things upside down. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Three of Wands in reverse, the Hermit, Four of Worlds, and Six of Wands. There's also time space here. I'm going to take that. That's the Judgment card. We had that in the previous reading. It's up right here. So what I feel here with this card, and again I feel that the Hermit is connected to that Hangman energy we had before, where there's an element here of your guides wanting to help you see that you really need to take time here to tune into yourself, to really listen, to contemplate, to analyze your agenda, to put aside your resistance, to like let your mind kind of like dump out a bunch of like random ramblings and actually just really get to the core of what's actually really important for you to listen to and tune into. I feel it's important to say here that you need to trust yourself. You need to trust yourself more. Stop denying what you feel, what you know to be true, and stop misinterpreting information, because you're getting things twisted up here. There's something here with this Three of Wands in reverse that feels to me like that you need to reassess the goals that you made previously, and perhaps set new goals and rewrite the script. That may be really annoying. Like if you've been working on something for a while and you've like been steadily putting energy to something and pursuing it, the point I'm making here is, if it's not working out, if you're not finding like things happening or success happening, or it just may be that you may need to change direction. Don't shoot the messenger. But Judgment coming out again here in your reading. I really feel like there is a rebirth here available to you. Don't clutch to what you've been doing just because it feels too gut-wrenching to start over. That's not, it's, you know, don't do that. There's definitely rebirth energy here. Like you really need to see with clarity and with dignity and with raw realness that which needs to be discarded, or let complete, let finish, let transform, let end, so that you can have a rebirth and take flight from a new point of being a phoenix rising from the ashes. This is not an easy reading for me to give here. I don't want you to think that I'm just sitting here having a great time telling you these things. I hope you found that helpful, Libra. That's your reading. I'm going to close it up there. Trust yourself. Be more confident in who you are. You've got a lot of gifts and talents and skills. Channel them into what's meaningful to you. What's true for you, what's real for you, what are you passionate about? Okay, a lot of love. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please like and comment and share. It will really help me get shown up in suggested playlists for people watching similar content. Thanks for helping me grow my channel. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I'll see you in the next reading.